How would you answer the question, why are the life and teachings of Jesus so important for disciple making? The answer we'll explore together is Jesus shows us by his life and teachings how we should live as his disciple. We'll break that down real quick. Jesus shows us. So when you want to learn something new, it might be useful or beneficial if someone tells you how to do something new. But what's an even better way of teaching someone is showing them how to do this new thing. Take learning an instrument, for example. If you wanted to play guitar, someone could tell you where to place your fingers, to play what notes, how you get this key or that key. But what's going to be way more effective than telling you how to play these notes is someone picking up a guitar, showing you firsthand, and maybe even helping you put your fingers where they're supposed to be. See, showing someone how to play an instrument is way easier and way more impactful than trying to verbalize or just tell them how to do it. And what's great about Jesus in the way that he taught is that he uses his words, he gives us instruction, but he also shows us through his actions. He taught us by showing us how to live by the way he lived. And what makes him one of the greatest teachers ever is that he actually did what he told others to do. So Jesus shows us by his life. The first 4 books of the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, all tell us about the life of Jesus. They are called the 4 Gospels because they tell us the good news about Jesus. The Gospels tell us what Jesus taught and show us how he lived his life. It's not just a verbal good news, it's a demonstration of good news. So Jesus shows us by his life and his teachings. In Matthew 4:23, we're told 3 things that Jesus spent most of his time doing as he went throughout the land of Galilee. That northern section of the Promised Land. See, Jesus went throughout Galilee, teaching in their synagogues, proclaiming the good news of the kingdom, and healing every disease and sickness among the people. Jesus spent a lot of time healing people, but he also spent a lot of time teaching them. He taught them what God is like and how to live their lives as if God was their Father, because he knew that God is their Father. He taught them how to live as citizens of this kingdom that was being built. He taught them how to love each other and how God had first loved them, not just by the words he used, but by his actions. Jesus shows us by his life and teachings how we should live. Jesus knows better than anyone else how we should live because Jesus is God. He has always been God. Even when he became human, he didn't stop being God. And this can be quite the theological conundrum for us. He is this God-man. But what we need to accept and understand by faith is that Jesus was fully God and was fully human. And because he's God, he's the one who created us and knows how we should live because he helped form us with purpose in mind. When the angel told Mary she would give birth to the Messiah, the Jews had been waiting so long for. Mary was confused because she wasn't even married yet. The angel explained, "The Holy Spirit will come on you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. So the Holy One to be born will be called the Son of God." That was from Luke 1:35. In other words, as we simplify that, Jesus was to be both God and human. And remember, as God, he knows how we should live because he's the one who created us. And he had this purpose of his own birth in mind from the very start. Isn't that just incredible? So Jesus shows us by his life and teachings how we should live as his disciple. Back in Bible times, it was a great honor for a rabbi, a Jewish word for teacher, to accept you as his disciple or his student. It meant you got to follow the rabbi, learn everything the rabbi knew, and became more like the rabbi. You know what's an even bigger honor? Jesus, our rabbi, has accepted us as his disciples. This means we get to follow Jesus, learn what he has taught us, and become even more like him. We have the teachings of Jesus in the Bible and the Holy Spirit that lives inside of us that you should remember from our last section. And throughout this, they use these teachings to show us how to live as these disciples. So let's recap all we've talked about today. How would you answer the question, why are the life and teachings of Jesus important for disciple making? The answer we explored, Jesus shows us by his life and teachings how we should live as his disciple. Now, as a family, complete the continuing conversation handout and join us this week as we focus on what it means to be a student of Jesus.